Hey guys, Miss Warren here. Today I'm going to talk to y'all about shading forms. We're going to look at geometrical forms. Geometrical are the forms with names. They're three-dimensional shapes. So the first one I'm going to draw is a sphere, and I'm going to use a compass so I can draw a perfect circle. Okay, so there is a perfect circle. I'm going to talk about shading it in colored pencil in a moment. The next one I'm going to talk about is a cone. If you want it to be really clean, you can use a ruler or a straight edge, and you're going to slant two lines like the top of a triangle. And then you're going to curve the bottom. The next one I'm going to talk about is a cylinder. The top, if you can see the top that is a stretched out oval. The sides are pretty much straight down. And the bottom needs to be about as curved as the top angle. Really curve that bottom or else it won't look right. Another form that I'm going to talk about very quickly is a pyramid. So to do a pyramid, I do a slightly slanted line, and then I give it like an arrow at the end. And then I connect it. So there's a pyramid. And of course we have our cube. We can't forget the cube. So square, then all the corners slant in the same direction. All the corners you can see anyway. If you wanted it to be a transparent cube, you would do this line too, but if you don't want it to be transparent, just go ahead and skip that line. And I'm going to connect the edges with vertical lines and horizontal lines. Got a little bit of overhang, but that's okay. Okay, now if I wanted to shade in colored pencil, I would choose a light source. So let's say the light is shining from this direction. On a sphere, you're going to wrap the shadow around and get darker on the opposite side of the light and get lighter and lighter. Now I'm going to do this kind of quickly and not very neatly because I just want to show y'all the general idea. And don't flatten out those lines. You see how it's getting kind of flat here? You want to do a deep curve all the way across. It takes a little bit of time, but it's very much worth it. And get lighter and lighter as you get to the lightest point. For a cone, if the light is shining this way, you'll have a little shine mark right about here. And when you shade in, it's good to kind of wrap that shadow, curve that line, but especially at the edges. I'm going to really do a hard curve at the edges so you can see that this is rounded. Curve at the bottom. And I'm going to get lighter as you get towards that highlight point. Same with this little side here. I'm going to really curve that shadow. Let you know that this is a round three-dimensional form and not a flat triangle. Okay, same idea with this one. This one is also curved. So these are our curved shapes and these are our flat shapes, or flat forms, I should say, because they're three-dimensional. The top is going to be shaded flat and very lightly if our light is coming from this side. And then here, especially at the edge, you want to really curve that shadow. And if it's coming from this direction, you'll probably have a highlight about here. I'm going to really curve the shadow on the other side. And then I'm going to curve my shading in as I get lighter. Now, one of the reasons I'm showing y'all this is if you can draw and shade geometrical forms, you can draw a lot of other stuff in the real world. Like in my class right now, we're about to start landscape. So this could be like the trunk of a tree, this could be a branch, this could be the peak of a mountain, if you just kind of loosen it up and make it a little more organic. So yet again, if the light is shining this way, it will be dark on this side. Now your flat shapes, you just color in really flat, just back and forth or just up and down. Don't curve that line at all. You want to get it really flat, and it's going to be lighter on this side because the light is shining on this side. Same with the cube. Then you have 3 sides. This would be medium because it's catching a little bit of that light. Nice and flat shading. This would be light. And since this is on the opposite side of the light, this one would be dark. And if they cast a shadow, so if the light's going this way, the shadow would start underneath the shape and kind of put that shape on the ground, but a little bit stretched out. This one's kind of interesting because it would get from that side too. And the shadow of a sphere is like a stretched out oval. Okay, so those are some basic forms in 3D using colored pencils just really fast. Go ahead and give a few of those a try, and then we're gonna work on turning these forms into objects later on.